So we're going to kick things off with this mustard number in both senses of the word.
This was my first Liverpool shirt. It looks like maybe in like 92, 93. We went to the shop, which then was like a portacabin outside the ground. Went in to get this, and it's like, looks like it's about 3 sizes too big. And we saw Jan Molby in the car park. My dad chased after Jan Molby to get him to sign or something, and he wouldn't. But we haven't held it against him. And I cherish this shirt. It's unbelievable. It's obviously my first ever Liverpool shirt, which is special. But it had Fowler 23 on the back.
Nice, man.
And the numbers used to come off, and I used to my mum used to diligently glue them back on for me. And
the official club numbers.
Yeah, like the full hit shirt, short, socks, numbers, and name on the back. And 23 was like the number that I kept until now. If I ever get a choice of a number, I'll keep 23 because of Robbie.
Okay, it's beautiful, man. I mean, you say a few sizes too big, but that's how they cut shirts in the early 90s, isn't it? That like off the shoulder, 3/4 length sleeve almost. When I think, each football team, even though United have been sponsored by Adidas and Nike and Umbro over the years, Umbro always feels like the most, honestly, Manchester United one. And when I think of Liverpool, it's an Adidas club, despite being Under Armour. And who else have you had?
Warrior and Nike. Yeah. Since then, Reebok for a little while, which was sort of like was owned by Adidas, but we moved to Reebok in 2004. But yeah, no, I completely agree with it.
It feels like an Adidas
makes sense.
Yeah,
I think if you speak to kids in Liverpool, Nike's their brand, but throughout, all of the mid to late 80s, most of the 90s we were in Adi, and it just fits for me.
And for those people listening to this bit in audio, could you describe the top in a bit more like forensic detail?
I can try. It's gold, I suppose.
Yeah.
It is like it's almost like a wolf's gold. It's got the word mark Adidas rather than the trefoil. It's got a large Liverpool crest from the 90s with kind of all of the extra bits on it. Carlsberg sponsor. A thick collar, which was sort of par for the course for us back
nuts,
then.
Man, with the pressed stud button.
It's like a button-down collar, yeah. And then 3 stripes on the sleeves, but not down the sleeves, sort of like at the end, which you didn't see a lot. And I remember the shorts, which aren't in this photo, they were black and they had 3 gold stripes at the bottom, which weren't on a lot of kits back then either. It's the silhouette of it. I'm not sure about the colour, and there's like a repeated
embossed,
like a jacquard of the crest over. I'm not sure about that, but I think in terms of like how it's built, like 3 stripes towards the bottom of the sleeve, 3 stripes towards the bottom of the shorts, I think it'd be probably quite popular now if it was simplified a bit and a bit less 90s.
Yeah. How much did they play in yellow? What would this have been, a 3rd strip?
Yeah. No, that was probably, maybe we had a white away at the same time, so maybe it was a 3rd. It wasn't played in a lot. During that time, and sort of right up until very recently, it was only really when we played Sunderland where we'd have to do a swap, and maybe we'd just swap the shorts or the socks.
Yeah.
But yellow is, since the late 70s, has been like one of Liverpool's away colours. They sort of swap between a white and a yellow.
Yeah.
And I think any time they go beyond that, as I've done in recent years, all the R-fillers have an episode because why are we wearing purple, or why are we wearing light blue or whatever. But I mean, yeah, it's an amazing kit. I'd love to see some version of it when we eventually get Adidas back, which I think is next year.
Is that on the cards?
It might be embargoed, but yeah, I think
okay.
So.
And all will be well in the universe again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Class, man. I mean, it's a beautiful picture. It's got the standard like 90s red eye bit on it that all camera flashes seem to do in the 90s.
Yeah, it's a photo of a photo. I know exactly where that is. That's in my nan and granddad's house.
Oh,
so
mate.
I've obviously gone in the kit on Boxing Day or whatever when I've got it, and been made to pose for the photo. I've got another one in exactly the same spot in a Barcelona kit from a few years earlier.
Class,
so, yeah,
man.
It's a special memory.
So this one's a bit more up to date. I've cut the date off, but where are we and what we're rocking and who are you talking to?
I'll try and tell you when it was. Maybe like 2020.
Yeah,
I think maybe a little bit earlier, maybe 2019. It's Héctor, who's So I was interviewing for the cover story of Mundial, Héctor Bellerín, one of the 4 well-dressed footballers on the planet. Héctor was a really exciting one for us. We'd obviously been a big fan of his in terms of how he expressed himself on and off the pitch, and he followed us on Instagram, and I think we just reached out. I think that's kind of how it went. We just DM'd him. I think that was the tagline for the issue, was like, we DM'd him, he responded, and he loved what we did. We were obviously huge fans of his style and what he represented as like a modern footballer who kind of had interests off the pitch. So we got it together. It was when he was still at Arsenal. We did a cover shoot. He brought loads of his own clothes. We got Elgar Johnson to style in between them, and he was on the cover. He was wearing a pair of trousers that he sort of hand sewn with his grandma.
Class, man.
He's a great guy, and a lot of the guys at Mundial and myself still talk to Héctor now. He's still a big fan. He's been wearing Sakito the last few weeks.
Class, man.
Exciting. Yeah, it's cool.
If you could pick anyone in the world, you'd probably go Héctor as you kind of poster boy.
Yeah, I think so. He's conscious of sustainability. He's conscious of what we're doing to the planet. He doesn't really have an affinity with any brands anymore. You know, he made quite a conscious decision to kind of stop buying clothes a few years ago and stop kind of participating in that cycle of things that we're all guilty of. So he's huge for us. He's a great fella, which helps. That relationship with Sakito also just happened via an Instagram DM, which is, you know, you don't really hear that.
Yeah.
And we're really proud to have him wearing our boots, and he's a good fella, and he's out in Seville at the moment playing for. During this interview, he kind of explained that his dad's club was Betis when he was growing up, and he'd grown up in Barcelona, gone through La Masia, but he'd always been a Betis fan. He wanted to go back there, and he's kind of got his dream come true. So we're really happy for him.
Tell us about your rig, because you're looking resplendent there. The stems are out, the cap's at a jaunty angle. What are you rocking?
I must have turned the contrast up on that, because my legs have never been that colour. I've got a pair of Special Garwin on. With no socks by the looks of it, which was bold. Must have been warm.
On holiday, man.
I don't know what the shorts are. The long sleeve is an APC long sleeve, which I've still got now. The hat, always Pop. It's my favourite hat of all time, which I've lost.
Pop trading.
So it's just quite traumatic seeing it, actually.
Shit, man.
You can't get it back. I've looked on Vinted, I've looked everywhere. I can't find one. And then the jacket is a vintage Comme des Garçons, like overshirt, metal buttons, which actually belonged to my wife, and she bought it in Japan, and I stole it off her.
Class, man. Do you share a lot of your wardrobe with your wife?
Not a lot. But if she's got anything super oversized, I'll pinch it, yeah, and that's kind of become mine. I've still got that now as well. That's one of my favourite pieces.
Yeah, well, I guess when you're meeting Héctor, you've got to bring your A game, man. And yeah, that is super nice. Yeah, legs look great, man.
I know, yeah.
Really good.
I think it is a filter.
A more recent one. This is posted on the 1st of September. Tell us where you're at and what you're rocking in this one.
So this is from Sunday Best, which is our Sunday game. Which is we went to New York last summer, like me and some friends who were making a film. A mitre at the time, and we kind of, I'd been introduced to it before, and a few of them had, but got introduced to pick-up football, which is basically you don't go and play as a team, you drop in, you get given a bib, and you kind of get divided up, and there's roll on, roll off teams, 8-minute games, no slide tackles, all super kind of modern. And when we were in America, we were like, it sounds a bit rubbish, like whatever, and we fell in love with it, and we really. It's social, it's in the morning, it's not like pints after, it's coffees after. And so we sort of stole the format and brought it back to Liverpool, where we created this format with Lyle and Scott called Sunday Best, which is a WhatsApp group. You sign up in the week, you come and play. It's super friendly. People bring their kids down. We were given the kits by Lyle and Scott, and it's just a different format of football, which we really enjoyed. And this photo, my daughter took it of me, so I used to take her down every week. And she'd hang out and play on her iPad and join in a little bit where she could, and she took this photo of me.
Nice. So it's a Lyle and Scott footy shirt, is it?
It is, yeah. So they've kind of made a step into football in the last couple of years. I think they have AEK Athens as their pro club.
Yeah.
And then they do a sort of shirts initiative in which if you're a grassroots club and you don't have an affinity with a brand, you can sign up to their thing and they'll sort you a kit out and create some content with you. This is pre-Sakito because I'm wearing Umbro boots, but we don't have to go into that.
So I think one of the reasons I picked this one out is because of the kind of like five-a-side aesthetic and what kind of things you choose to wear for that. It's a bit of I've not played football since I was like 14 or 15. Yeah. My knees are just not capable of it anymore. But when you see guys of my age playing football, like the choice of footy kits for a five-a-side, it's all about rarity. It's about showing you kind of subtle, maybe political allegiances, or like, have you got a wardrobe dedicated to your five-a-side outfits?
I've got a bag. I don't know about a wardrobe, but yeah, like I think you're right. I think people do think about it in the same way that they think about what they wear when they go out for a drink or they go out in town and stuff. I think it's, a few years ago it probably would have just been all the latest, 10, 15 years ago, like whatever the latest Liverpool, Everton kits are, but that's sort of almost too obvious now.
Yeah.
People want to express themselves. The rise of classic football shirts has played a huge part in that. So you can kind of, the third shirt of Napoli last season is accessible when it wasn't before. But no, it's fun. Like it's a good way, and it's a good way to express yourself is what I was trying to say. And you do see people finding what they're comfortable in and what they wear, and people will try and enter into the one-upmanship thing and bring the rarest shirts or whatever. But you also see people who just wear what they've got and come and enjoy playing football.
Yeah, man.
Those shorts I've gotten in there. I need to shout out Lucas in New York. The Scenes New York, which are the best football shorts in the world.
Nice,
it's like a really small independent brand from New York.
Yeah. I guess like your love of football and it's from its lesser observed angles, like wearing these odder football shirts or something like that, you open up a discourse with other footy fans on the pitch. You can kind of talk about your passions for the game in a way that you might not do if you weren't given that opportunity. Yeah,
I think so, and I think that this format we fell upon, it's like it's competitive and it's as competitive as any small-sided game I've ever played in, but there's definitely an edge where it's like it's more about community. It's more about discussing those things and kind of hanging out afterwards. And we built it's only one season old, but we built a really nice little community in that where people feel comfortable.
Class, man. Big up.
Trust me, it feels amazing.